Tonight, the countdown to darkness for Karanga residents.
Growers meet to discuss Mossman Mill's future.
The state government's big build plan.
And the Reef school program reaches a milestone.
This is 7 News with Brough and Joanne Desmond.
Good evening. Thanks very much for joining us.
Good evening.
Dozens of residents in Karanga fear they'll be left without power in a matter of weeks when emergency generators are set to be turned off. But the state government says it won't leave people in the dark.
Kerry Dowd just wants what we all take for granted: reliable electricity.
It's a basic necessity, and when people are needing to run sleep apnea machines and the very basics, we're in a lot of trouble in here.
She's one of at least 100 residents still living without mains power at Karanga Villas, following damage caused by Cyclone Jasper.
Some residents have had to go into nursing homes because they can't cope with the state of their villas and no power. We've had deaths.
They've been relying on generators for nearly 6 months, but that's coming to an end in 3 weeks. Repair works haven't even started.
We were told by a Facebook message from our committee yesterday that the generators are no longer going to be funded. So come the 28th of this month, in a few weeks' time, we're going to be left in the dark again.
Residents are pleading with the state government to step in.
We urgently need, first and foremost, we need the generators to be left here until our power supply can be restored. But not only that, we need somebody to take ownership of the project of our mains power infrastructure being so badly damaged.
But there could be some light at the end of a very long tunnel.
I don't intend for the lights to go out on the 28th of June. I'm currently working with government at the moment. There's high-level conversations that are happening right now about what it looks like ongoing after the 28th.
We're Australians. This was a natural disaster. I'm saying, please do something for us.
Frank Russo, 7 News.
Well, locals were invited to discuss the future of the sugar industry at a meeting in Mossman today. Farmers are desperate for more government funding to transport this year's crop to the Mulgrave Mill in Gordonvale.
Katter's Australian Party chaired today's meeting in an attempt to bring ideas from the locals to Parliament.
We're running out of time. As you know, this mill is in the hands of a liquidator.
The investor that promised to buy the mill after it went into liquidation eventually pulled out.
We've got the resilience in there, and we've got the actual brains trust with regards to those local farmers. It's now a matter of actually government listening.
Today, dozens of locals gathered in the Mossman Shire Hall to discuss how to save their livelihood. But some were sceptical about saving the mill, saying it's already too late.
The reality is the mill cannot be functional for at least another 4 months.
Most residents were pushing for more funding than the current $12 million on offer.
There is the need, to get that cropped, harvested and supported by state government in some way of the subsidies.
MP Shane Knuth promised that he'll take today's suggestions to the Premier within the next 2 days.
We need funds there to kick in here because this is a very, very important issue. Rural and regional Queensland, we're always trying to find something. We've already got something here, and the best thing to do is sustain it and keep it going.
Christina Pooljak, 7 News.
Sport Minister Michael Healy has doubled down on his support for a Cairns-based Papua New Guinea NRL team. He confirmed he's spoken to League CEO about the team after Rugby League Commissioner Peter V'landys announced he wouldn't back the move.
I spoke to Andrew Abdo and he's indicated that at this stage the NRL were still seeking further information.
It's understood the Premier and Cairns Mayor Amy Eden also support the idea.
Regional Queensland is said to benefit from an $18 billion capital investment as part of the state government's $107 billion big build plan. But the opposition says the scheme is more blowout than build.
Government ministers fronted the cameras this morning to announce the foundation for what's being dubbed Queensland's Golden Decade.
It is the biggest building program to be delivered in regional Queensland ever.
The new $107 billion big build aims to upgrade the state's healthcare facilities, housing, transport and schools.
50,000 direct jobs will be delivered outside of Greater Brisbane. That will support the growth and development of regional Queensland.
We need to do this because Queensland is going to grow over the next decade by about 1 million Queenslanders.
The plan's expected to deliver more than $27 billion in capital works in the next financial year, with more than $18 billion invested into regional Queensland. The opposition takes a dimmer view of the big build.
Queensland train manufacturing program, $2.4 billion blowout, and Rockhampton Ring Road, $665 million budget blowout.
And other regional projects like the Beerburrum to Nambour rail line's $500 million cost escalation. The Treasurer remains upfront about the setbacks.
They're all significant projects, but there are good reasons for those, and we've talked about those previously.
Jamie Tenikoff, 7 News.
James Cook University has received $1 million from the federal government for research into reef health. Half of that will fund a study to understand how Australia's reefs are connected to New Caledonia's. The remaining half will go towards finding critical fish breeding grounds. The funding was granted ahead of World Ocean Day tomorrow. 30,000 Queensland school children have experienced what it's like to work on the Great Barrier Reef. The Reef School program is part of the state government push to encourage locals to take up careers in tourism.
Stretching for 2,300 kilometres, the turquoise expanse of the Great Barrier Reef is the size of Japan and needs all hands on deck.
We put a schools program together, and this has enabled over 30,000 kids from across the state to go out on the Great Barrier Reef.
The program was a byproduct of COVID, with the state government investing $3.5 million to help reef operators pivot to educational tourism during the pandemic.
It's building the next generation of skippers, of marine biologists.
School students aged 7 to 12 are taken out on the reef to learn about how it works, who relies on it and its biggest threats, as well as First Nations connections.
Seasonal calendars, we do focus a bit on hunting, we focus massively on sustainability.
We went snorkeling and we looked at all the reef and the coral and we collected data for it for school.
The Reef Schools program runs until December.
Would we like to see it continue? It's certainly discussions that I'd love to have.
Sophie McManus, 7 News.
And ahead tonight in 7 News, the shocking near misses at level train crossings.
And why young music lovers are abandoning festivals.
Thanks for joining us here on 7. Far North residents are being asked to have their say on 2 proposed silica sand mines in Cape Flattery. The projects will cost around $774 million combined and create more than 300 jobs. Silica sand is a key component in the manufacturing process of solar panels. More information can be found on the Department of State Development's website.
Rail company Horizon has released images of frightening near misses at level crossings at the launch of its national safety campaign. Since 2016, there have been 27 fatal collisions at level crossings around the country.
This is what train drivers see far too often, and this impatient driving can have serious consequences.
Level crossings are dangerous. If you don't obey the signs, it could involve an impact of a vehicle or a pedestrian.
Since 2014, there have been 27 fatal collisions and countless near misses at level crossings across Australia. It's prompted the country's largest rail freight company, Horizon, to launch a new safety campaign.
Our campaign is about pushing the message to respect the sign. Lives are on the line.
Original train driver Hayley Hess features on 20 billboards across Australia and hopes to encourage more people to be vigilant near train lines.
Having experienced a near miss in the past, I have seen firsthand the risks people can take trying to beat the train across the tracks.
The campaign is designed to be timeless to help save as many lives as possible.
We've obviously made video, we've made a lot of material that can actually go on social media, we've got children's education packs.
And look, level crossings are your friend. The flashing lights are your friend. They're there to protect you.
Look both ways. Slow down.
Police are also reminding drivers if they ignore warning lights, they will receive a $400 fine and lose 3 demerit points. Ben Meehan, 7 News.
60 students from St Monica's and St Augustine's have ridden more than 3,200 laps of the Menunda Aerodrome to raise money for homelessness charity Rosie's. The funds will go towards feeding disadvantaged Cairns residents. The students are still collecting money, and anyone interested in supporting their cause should contact St Augustine's for more information.
New travel data shows the majority of our young people are steering away from festivals, preferring to attend headline shows in major cities. Regional events are already feeling the impact, with many forced to be cancelled due to low ticket sales.
It's something no music festival fan wants to hear.
Lounge was cancelled. There's another one been in Brisbane that was cancelled.
And 11th hour cancellations are becoming more common. Younger fans in particular are noticing and deciding it's not worth the risk.
So 85% of Queensland residents are not attending festivals. So that was kind of a big standout for us.
This year's Groove in the Move festival was forced to cancel after ticket sales were not sufficient to deliver a regional festival of this kind.
I reckon people just can't afford it anymore, to be honest.
Cost of festivals $500 a ticket. You could come and see 6 or 8 live gigs for that.
Bad weather and reliability is also to blame.
The reason that an artist will do their own shows is they're fully in control of the whole rollout of the event. Whereas at a festival, you're relying on a promoter to get everything together.
19% of Queensland fans prefer major headlining shows, like seen earlier this year with Taylor Swift and Pink, meaning many regional fans are missing out as it's too expensive to travel to major cities.
Support the industry, get out and go and see some live music. Your venues need you.
Georgie May Walker, 7 News.
All right, plenty happening in sport, and we're about to find out.
Yes. Drop kick in the mud, and we've got an Origin decider in North Queensland.
What a game, what a result, Brough, Queensland. Yes, their women levelled the series last night with a thrilling 1-point win, and Game 3 is in Townsville. We'll have all the highlights next. And the two Cowboys who won't be backing up from the men's Origin for tomorrow's game against the Warriors. And welcome back. Well, this year's first ever Best of 3 Women's State of Origin series will be decided at the home of the Cowboys, Queensland Country Bank Stadium in Townsville, following last night's Maroons miracle. Under driving rain in Newcastle and in front of a record women's crowd of over 27,000 for Game 2, Queensland were down by 6 with 20 minutes to go in their must-win game. But after Cowboy Emma Moundsman provided the team with an aggressive spark off the bench, it was Taryn Aiken who found a way through.
Emma Moundsman came on, got us going forward, and I think that, we were on top at half-time and the girls are really confident.
The equaliser giving Lauren Brown a chance to win it for the Maroons.
That was insane. Yeah, that's true Origin football. It's so good for our game to play a game of footy like that.
Moundsman and fellow Cowboy Mackenzie Wheel each played limited minutes in the 11-10 victory. The decider in Townsville will be played Thursday, June 27. The Cowboys will only have 4 of their 6 Origin stars backing up from Wednesday night when North Queensland takes on the Warriors tomorrow afternoon. Reece Robson picked up a neck complaint in his huge effort for New South Wales, while Maroons winger Murray Talangi has a shoulder issue.
He might be a blue, but Todd Payton is seeing the bright side of Wednesday night's Maroons mauling.
I've got to be honest, Queensland have won the last couple, so we've got a larger Maroons contingent who come back on top of the world.
But not all of his 6 Origin stars will be backing up tomorrow.
We're going to be without Murray Talangi with a shoulder complaint, and then Reece Robson's got a neck issue.
But don't worry, it's just for this round.
We could needle Muzz up and roll him out, but 4 days or 3 days after a big game, I don't think that's great for his long-term health. He'll get a few days rest. He's in no doubt to miss the following game. And same with Robbo.
That leaves Tom Dearden, Ruben Cotter, Valentine Holmes and Jeremiah Nonay to line up against the Warriors. A big effort considering Cotter and Maya are in the top 3 for tackling machines in Origin 1.
First thing I said to Maya this morning is you can back up and give us another 48. had a bit of a chuckle.
And it's a good thing they have their shoulders warmed up for the Warriors, with 6 frontline stars with more than 800 games of NRL experience returning to action. Kickoff is 5:30pm. Meanwhile, their NRLW side have finished their first week of pre-season, and for homegrown talent Alicia Ford, it's the start of a big year.
So I've always sort of been in the halves, and I've got a bit of a shift into hooker or lock into the middle of the field. So yeah, really loving the grind in the middle.
Emma Halliday, 7 News.
It's second against third in the Q Cup tomorrow when the Northern Pride play their first home game in almost 2 months against the hard-hitting Burleigh Bears. Coach Eric Smith says it's a perfect test for the team, who could take top spot with a big win.
The Northern Pride have become road warriors in the Q Cup and still sit second on the ladder, despite playing just 3 of their first 12 rounds at home. Now, preparing to host the Burleigh Bears, they're ready to pull out all the stops.
I think there's a good energy around the group that they had a week away from everyone. They were keen to get back around the group, and they know they're coming into a big game this weekend and being back at home. So there's a few things that are lining up for us.
A win could see the Pride jump back into top spot on the ladder, but against one of the informed teams in the competition, it won't come easy.
They're the team to beat in the competition for sure. Luke Burt's doing a great job with them. They've got a really good experienced roster with a lot of cup games in their roster.
In the local league, it's first versus second on the ladder as the unbeaten Cairns brothers head down to Edmonton to face the waiting Storm.
We're expecting the challenge and we're ready for that challenge. I think Jordan and his coaching team have got the boys, really well prepared this week.
A lot has changed since brothers won by 86 points when the sides met last year. Edmonton have been the surprise package of the season and come in on a 4-game winning streak.
The league table very rarely lies, does it? And the league table says that we're currently the best team and that Edmonton are a close second. So I expect a real tough physical challenge.
Kick-off at Peterson Park is at 6 o'clock tomorrow night. James Ingram, 7 News.
And the Adelaide Crows AFLW team are making the most of our far north sunshine, heading to Cairns for a 4-day pre-season training camp. Last year's preliminary finalists hit Kazalees early this morning for a training session and hosted some skills clinics with juniors this afternoon. The team will be here until Sunday. Now, the Hawthorn AFLW side are also coming to town for a training camp next month as they prepare for their premiership clash with Melbourne at Kazalees in October. Broughy Joe, I've got a feeling a few people might have an extra long weekend, end of the month, go to Townsville, pack it out for that huge women's Origin decider.
Why not?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Ooh, good stuff.
Thank you, Nate.
All right, we'll stay with us after the break. Livio has all the weekend weather details for us.
G'day, Livio, Regano with tonight's weather. Cruisy times at the Weather Bureau as dry season finally kicks in for 2024. An endless succession of clear wintry nights and blissfully sunny days with no rain for the next whole week. Temperatures today across our neck of the woods. In Cairns, the daily range was 16 to 26 degrees. Mareeba hit a high of 27 and Cooktown rose to a top of 26. On the satellite loop, it's easy to see the shape of the upper trough and low. It's that big coil of cloud twisting into the low, which is now just offshore. Of course, all of Queensland is clear except the Granite Belt, which seems to be the last place remaining in the state that's able to get showers in an upslope wind coming from the southwest. They're very light, but there's broken cloud, and I can't say for sure that it's going to stay dry there. Everywhere else looks like open misère. There's no other way it could be. Well, let's look at today's chart. We can see that the low is digging its heels just off the coast near Sydney, cold front extending from it. That represents the cool change. And in its wake, we have a fairly deep flow of quite cold south-southwesterlies pushing into Queensland, resulting in widespread frost around the southern interior and very cold nights even in the tropical inland. On tomorrow's chart, the low digs even further and the wind strengthens slightly, but not too much. So another classic winter pattern high over central Australia. On the outlook chart, it stays that way for several days. Nothing but sunshine as these broad southwesterlies dry off the land continue to dominate Queensland. Boating forecast for Cairns waters, south to southeasterlies 15 to 20 knots tomorrow, and then straight southeasterlies 15 to 20 for Sunday and Monday. High tide starting to get later in the day, still pretty big given we've just had new moon. But remember, in winter the biggest high tide's always at night, so careful where you park. North Tropical Coast and Tablelands, bright and sunny. Cairns 17 to 26 degrees, 23 for Atherton, 25 at Innisfail and Mareeba 27. Looking ahead for Cairns, barely a cloud in the sky for the next 7 days, loads of sunshine and not so much as a drop of rain. Top temperatures holding fairly steady around 26, 27 degrees before rising on Thursday. And then for Atherton, it's again fairly steady, but there is a very subtle rising trend, maxing out at 24 degrees Wednesday, Thursday. Here's a Friday feel-good photo from Homebush. I'm pleased I instantly saw the same thing as the photographer, a set of eyebrows looking kind of startled, almost giving a wink of acknowledgement that the sun's either going up or going down. Thanks Donna Ricciardi for sending that one. Have a fab weekend one and all. Catch you Monday. Now it's back to the team.
Yeah, good on you, Liv. Thank you very much, mate. Thanks for your company, folks. Have a great weekend. We'll catch you Monday.
And a reminder, you can watch a replay of our news on the 7plus app, or you can catch up on our page, 7news.com.au. And from all of us, have a great weekend. Good night.
Good night.